out. Good morning, everyone. Looks like all the windmills are going at a pretty fair rate. Spinning at a good speed. If they spin too much faster than that, they actually stop them from overspeed. Because if they go overspeed, they blow up. Some pretty spectacular failures if you Google some YouTube videos of windmills overspeed. We are at the top of Columbia Gorge. I'm gonna start heading down. Unloaded today morning. We could have made it to our unload spot yesterday night, but I looked on Google Maps and looking today morning, I'm glad we didn't. There's really no good place to park. So we parked at the very last rest area before our destination, and in the very last spot in that rest area. Although a couple other big rigs did stop after that and made spots for themselves in very awkward positions, making it hard for any other rig to get past. But I guess when you're out of hours, you're out of hours. I would have parked a little further down back on the on-ramp. There's lots of room down there without being awkward and in the way. But yeah, we took the last actual spot in the rest area. It was about 20 minutes away from our destination, so no problems there. Headed down, got unloaded. They took their sweet time unloading, but got unloaded. And then now we're headed to Spokane empty. What's that?
You called that.
Jess might have called that one. What was my prediction? Portland? Yeah. Jess predicted Spokane. Spokane to Nelson run. Tarped again, it says, so a lot of tarp loads. The last 3 loads were tarped, and then there'll be a 4th load that's tarped. If it's just concrete blocks, I'm going to call dispatch and tell them I'm not tarping it. But if it's concrete bags, yeah, I'll obviously bait.
It's rainy season.
It's definitely rainy season. It rained yesterday, it rained the day before, the night before. There's a reason we're allowed to have campfires again. The ground is wet again. Looks like I'm slowly catching up with this guy. Yeah, clouds are still looking rainy, stormy. Blue sky right behind us, right beside us, but ahead is cloudy. What do I smell? Tar? Smells a very strong smell of tar, I think. Must have been doing road construction somewhere. The guy in front of us is a train, I guess. I think that's an A train. Feet these A trains have deck space. No, I'm wrong. It's not an A train. It's just a truck with a single dolly and trailer. Is he speeding up again? Oh, it's always irritating when they do that. I guess if you're not using cruise control, it's easy to do that. Here's Jake brakes kicking in there. Pretty loud Jake brakes. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of harvesting going on. A lot of pumpkins, a lot of, we saw grapes getting harvested. We saw squash, a lot of hay bales. It's definitely fall harvest. Ah, what a beautiful day. We're blasting music. Just a nice morning. It's only Tuesday morning. I haven't done the math yet if we can get to our destination today, but I predict we can, with hours to spare just off the top of my head, unless stuff goes wrong. We get to take the beautiful border crossing, Madeline Falls. Yeah, going up Madeline Falls. So yeah, we're gonna load, it says building supplies, but the location we're going to just does concrete. So we're gonna either load concrete blocks or concrete powder bags. The fact that it says tarp most likely means bags, but I've had that before where it's just concrete blocks and it says tarp. That's twice now that I've been told to tarp concrete blocks. Excuse me. The last time I called dispatch and said, "Are you sure you want these concrete blocks tarped?" "I don't mind, I make more money tarping. It's $70 every time I tarp and it takes about an hour to do it, so that's a pretty good hour's work for $70. Yeah, and then you have to untarp later on, that's another half hour, but still, hour and a half, hour 45 minutes at the most for $70. I'll tarp as many loads as they want me to tarp. Gets a little miserable in the cold winter, but when your fingers are frozen. But my trick is I switch gloves. Go outside, tarp for a while, fingers are cold. Oh, that truck on the other side, the 8 train, is full of corn. Change gloves as soon as the fingers get cold and then swap. Sometimes go through 4 sets of gloves just to keep my fingers warm.
You should compare your glove collection to a women's shoe collection.
My glove collection is not as large as a woman's shoe collection, sorry.
It is. You own more gloves than I would shoes, so I baked it in for I'm a woman.
I need to own a lot of gloves. And then, of course, the one time I called and asked if they wanted the load tarped concrete bricks, they said yes, absolutely. The customer is adamant about having clean bricks coming to their destination. It's like, are you serious? These bricks are going to spend the rest of their life outside and you want them tarped? Okay, I guess we'll tarp it then. Well, they were shrink wrapped. They were all shrink wrapped, and then I had to still tarp it. There's another 8 train. 8 trains are very popular in Washington. They're illegal to build and sell in Canada, so you don't see them in Canada anymore. They're not illegal to transport into Canada. If a Washington truck comes up into Canada, he's allowed to come into Canada. He's just not allowed to leave that trailer there. Here is the big Columbia River. Columbia River provides a lot of North America's electricity, that's for sure. always say I'm going to count how many dams there's on the Columbia River, but I always forget when I get home. Because the US has lots of dams down this river, and then Canada has a few dams down this river. Probably apples in that one. It looked like apples. Windsock is almost straight out, so it's fairly windy. And the wind has changed directions. Now we're going against wind for some reason. Up at the top, the windmills were all facing the other direction. Oh, and this windsock's even a different direction. Wind must be very gusty here. Now we climb out of the basin. Well, not the basin, out of the gorge. Blue sky that way. Definitely a beautiful highway. I90 is definitely a beautiful highway. At least on the west coast, I90 is a beautiful highway. Well, having said that, in the prairies, you go by the Badlands and some beautiful scenery along the highway. It's a good highway to travel, especially if you want to take your time and stop and visit places. Even in the prairies, there's some pretty cool places. Interesting observation. All those hay trailers going by, just as saying, are not tarped today. Usually they're tarped. And then there's another one, no tarp.
They feel confident there's no big rain.
I guess it depends if they're dry bales or green bales. If they're green and going to get used right away, or dry and they're going to be stored all winter. So you don't want the dry bales getting wet. A lot of orchard crates going by. A lot of orchard crates. So the apple farms are going busy. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. It's another beautiful Tuesday. Enjoy it. And hit the thumbs up, please. I would really appreciate that. And smile.